A lot of you have been asking me how to straighten your beards. Lots of clients that I have weird, wild waves that they wish they didn't. Now, in very severe cases, you can use some sort of chemical relaxer. I mean, you're gonna slather that stuff all over your face. It doesn't smell particularly good, and the outcome of that is often pretty severe. But there is more than one way to straighten out that brawny beast, and today we're gonna look at some options for how you can get that gnarly chin sweater under control. Let's get into it.
My name's Matty Conrad. I've been a professional barber for over 27 years, and in that time, I've built a number of barbershops and started a brand called Victory Barber & Brand. I spend most of my time traveling around the world teaching other barbers all my tips and tricks on how they can be better barbers. Now, I've been featured in a number of magazines, but more recently I've been showing up as a grooming expert on GQ's YouTube page. Collectively, that series has over 25 million views. So that inspired me to start my own YouTube page so I could answer some of your most burning questions and share with you guys my best tips and tricks to take your grooming to the next level. So here they are.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Matty Conrad, and today we're going to talk about straightening your beard. Now, straightening your beard is something that has a number of degrees to it. I mean, not everybody wants that perfectly straight, wispy beard.
Which is not to say that some guys don't. If that long and sweepy Gandalf thing is what you're going after, who the hell am I to say you shall not pass? But most guys do benefit from a small amount of thermal straightening to remove those pesky waves or just to give the beard a bit more of a polished look overall.
For those of you that are interested in straightening out your beard a little bit, let's look at the two different types of straightening that you can do. Time for the nerdy stuff.
All right, you guys, it's time for the nerdy stuff, and today we're talking about the science of beard straightening, or really how to straighten any hair for that matter. It may come as no surprise to you that beards come in many different shapes, densities, lengths, and colors. I mean, yeah, of course they do, but also they come in slightly different textures too. That means the hairs themselves grow differently. Most predominantly, those textures are curly, wavy, and straight, which might sound a bit pedantic, but some guys don't actually know what the difference is between those, and most beard shaping issues that I run into are usually the result of people simply having a texture they wish they didn't. Now, the good news is that there are options that can temporarily alter the texture of the hair. The two methods I'm talking about are known as thermal straightening and chemical straightening, which is sometimes referred to as relaxing. To learn about how this works, it's important to know about the structures inside the hair that are responsible for giving it its shape so that you can understand which one to choose and which one would work best for you. Hair is predominantly composed of proteins and amino acids, mostly keratin. Yeah, the same stuff as your fingernails. They're arranged in a complex matrix. Now, this protein matrix is stabilized and stuck together by various types of bonds. Most commonly, hydrogen bonds and disulfide bonds. These two types of bonds are largely responsible for the shape or texture of the hair. Hydrogen bonds act like flexible links between protein molecules. They're the weaker of the two, and they're easily affected and manipulated or reshaped by heating and cooling, and they're completely broken down by moisture. Yeah, terrible swimmers. Thermal straightening primarily targets these hydrogen bonds, which temporarily alters the hair structure using these three steps. Step 1, apply heat to make the hydrogen bonds more malleable. Step 2, apply tension. This could involve a blow dryer and a brush, a heated brush, or a heated tool like a flat iron or a curling wand, which I honestly just think looks a bit silly. Step number 3 is to cool the hair, which will stiffen the bonds and lock in the shape. Basically, when you heat hydrogen bonds up, they get spongy and bendy and you can stretch the hair out. As it cools, the bonds reform in a temporary way that holds the hair in a straightened shape until it gets wet, which will break down the bonds, causing the hair to revert to its natural shape. Now, you might be thinking, what do you mean by the hair's natural shape? If I've changed the bonds, doesn't that change the shape of the hair? Well, the reason the hair reverts is because of the other more robust bonds in the hair, which are called disulfide bonds. These are also responsible for the shape of the hair, but they are not affected by heat and moisture. So when the hydrogen bonds are broken down using moisture, the disulfide bonds take over the shape of the hair. These tough bonds require a chemical agent to break them down. Chemical straightening is most commonly done on very curly beards, the type of beards that don't ever get longer, they just get thicker and bigger. Relaxing those curl patterns can help give it a slightly longer look. It should be noted that this process does not smell at all good, and if done improperly, can compromise the hair's integrity to the point of breaking off. As such, I do not recommend trying this yourself at home. This is one where you should probably seek out professional help. But we're going to have to cover that in another video. Let's get straightening. All right, so hopefully you guys have a little bit of a better idea on what it is to straighten your beard. Now, today I'm going to demonstrate two different methods that you can use that are what we call thermal straightening. One involves a blow dryer and a brush, and the other involves a heated tool. Today we're going to compare the difference between the two because I'm going to thermally straighten my beard using a heated beard brush from Stylecraft. Now they sent me this thing to try out, and I'm going to give it a really good test. I'm going to go through my beard that is dried naturally, and I'm going to use it to try and get my beard looking straight. Look at that. And then we're going to switch gears again, and I'm going to style my beard using a blow dryer and a brush. Then we can explore the difference together. Let's get into it. Okay guys, my beard is a bit of a puffy mess right now and I really need to wash it. So I'm gonna start by doing that and I'll do the blow dryer version first. I'm gonna wet it thoroughly and I'm gonna use the wash from Victory Barber and Brand. Now, I designed this stuff myself because I couldn't find beard wash I was happy with. Also, it made my beard feel incredibly soft the very first time I used it. This one has gentle plant-based cleansers, nourishing baobab oil, activated charcoal, and a bunch of natural ingredients that care for the skin and make my beard smell great. To get the full benefit, you want to leave it in for about 60 seconds. Anyway, after 60 seconds, I'm going to give it all a good rinse and make sure to remove all the lather from the beard, and then I'm going to pat it dry with a towel. I'm going to grab my Dyson Supersonic and I'm going to make sure it has the condenser on the end. The condenser is actually important, so if you have one, use it. I'm going to make sure the settings are on the highest airflow and the highest heat. I'm going to use the brush to create tension, but I'm also using it to more or less detangle the beard. I'll start with the airflow pointing down. When it comes to smoothing hair out, you always want the airflow to be directed from roots to ends. Now, I'm going to heat the hair up first, so you're going to notice that I push the hair in a lot of different directions. I don't just pull it straight down, I pull it across, I push it forward, I pull it slightly back, and that's allowing me to get a lot of the heat to penetrate into the beard instead of just sitting on the very surface of it. So making sure that I heat the hair up and applying a little bit of tension with this brush is helping me smooth things out. Always going in the same direction has a tendency to make it feel kind of flat, so I'm going to make sure that I'm moving the hair around as I'm heating it up and then using the airflow to push the hair into the direction that I want it to go. I'm just now realizing that I make really weird looking faces when I do this. I mean, look at this one. This looks like the pig from Angry Birds. Either way, as you can see, as the hair is starting to straighten out, it is starting to get a little bit longer feeling, and I'm just still directing that airflow down, making sure that the airflow is smoothing out the flyaways and getting the beard into the shape that I want for it to go. Now it's time for the mustache, and the mustache actually has a little bit of a trick. So I'm going to take my comb, I'm going to run it through the mustache and generally shape it a little bit to the left and right and slightly up away from the mouth. This is going to start to create that kind of curvature that I like. Then I'm going to take the comb, I'm going to press the hair down and comb through it while just leaving the ends of the mustache out. I'm going to take the airflow and I'm going to blow upwards. Using the comb to hold the hair down and blowing the ends upwards is really helping me get that nice kind of bend in the end of my mustache and that little bit of that flare that I like. This is how I get my points to turn upwards at the end. And again, I'm making a weird face. I can't... Yeah, that looks like a cat's asshole. Yeah, I can't unsee that now. So once I get that mustache sorted out, I'm going to use the airflow facing downwards again and the comb to just try and smooth away a few of the flyaways, but this does tend to make the beard feel just a little bit kind of flat. So here's what I do for that. I'll take the airflow and I will blow upwards from under the chin, just like this, and this will kind of help fill the shape out a little bit again. It gives me just a little bit more shape, then I can take my comb and I can calm that down again. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. All right, now it's time to kill the flyaways, so I'm going to take my Victory Barber brand Super Dry. This is my oil-free texturizing paste, and it works great on beards to be able to kind of hold down any little flyaways and give the beard just a little bit of shape without making it look like there's lots of product in it. I'm going to rub this between my palms and just apply it to the outside of the beard and work it through the tips of my mustache. And yeah, you can see it makes it look just a little bit better. I'm going to go through it with a comb now to try and get it just a little bit more natural looking. Yeah, you can comb this stuff through. You can see it doesn't have a really heavy product-y look to it. I can work it through the mustache, gives it a more natural finish, and boom, there we go. I think you can tell that there's a pretty big difference from the before and after here. It's pretty puffy coming in there, and it definitely looks a lot more groomed. Should be noted that I didn't trim anything. This is all just done with a blow dryer and a brush. Now, I just used one brush today, but you'll also notice that there's a number of different brushes you can use. And really, the difference between brushes is about how tight the teeth are together and how much tension it creates. Tension and heat will result in straighter hair. Be careful you don't use something that creates so much tension that it removes your beard hair and makes your beard even thinner. I usually use some sort of a Denman brush or a round brush with nylon bristles. This is a really good way to be able to get just the right amount of tension on your beard while still not pulling the hair out. But for those of you with a shorter beard, they don't create very much tension. So the shorter beard, you want something more like a flat brush. And a flat brush has lots and lots of natural bristles. They're spread across the head of the brush, and you're able to create a little bit of tension using that. So the shorter the beard, the more dense the bristles should be on your brush. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into method number 2, the heated brush. A lot of you guys have been asking me about this one, so today I'm going to test it out. As you can see, my beard is pretty curly and puffy at the moment, and I really want to test this thing out, so instead of washing and drying the beard first, I'm just going to pick it out and go right at it. A pick is still the best tool for detangling your beard. If you don't have one, I highly suggest getting it. Just going to get underneath there. Alright, here it is, the Stylecraft Heat Stroke. First thing I need to do is remove the storage cap. You don't want to heat it up with that thing on. You can see it has 2 different types of teeth in there. Here is the power button. I'm going to hold that down until it lights up. And then I'm going to hit the other button until it says 400 degrees. Seems pretty hot. Then I'm just going to leave it on the counter to heat up for about 5 to 8 minutes. That should do it. There are 2 types of teeth in here. The shorter ones are ceramic and get super hot. The longer ones don't, and they prevent the hot ones from touching your skin and burning you. Which is probably a good thing, because you have to put this thing right against your face. I'm really not sure how well this thing's going to work, but I do know that with hot tools, it can sometimes take quite a few passes. And I don't want to go through the hair too quickly. I need to give the heat a chance to soften up those hydrogen bonds. It doesn't put as much tension on the hair as I thought it would, and tension is a really important part of thermal straightening, so I'm going to kind of use my comb a little bit as well to help it out. So you can see I'm really taking my time here, and just like with the blow dry, I'm brushing the hair in different directions to make sure the heat gets all through the interior of the beard and not just on the surface. This is definitely not a quick process, or at least not as quick as I hoped it would be. I'm not doing a lot of cuts and edits here because I want you guys to have an idea of how long this actually takes. So after a few minutes, this side is definitely looking a bit smoother compared to the other side. I'm not totally sure how to tackle the mustache, so hopefully I don't burn my lips. It doesn't really grab the hair like a normal brush, so maybe if I just brush it upwards. Screw it, I need to use the comb for this. Okay, that's a little better. It's time to do the other side. Oh my god, this is boring to watch. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to speed it up a little bit through the boring part. Now that the other side is smoothed out a bit, I'm going to work through the interior by taking the brush underneath the chin and stretching the beard out. This will help me get all the curly hairs tangled up inside, but honestly, this thing's just not getting much attention. I'm going to start using the comb to help with that. That's working a bit better, but having the comb in front of the brush, I'm able to stretch the hair out a bit more. That's looking a bit better. It's still kind of awkward for mustaches, but I think I might have figured it out. Sorta. Alright, it's been about 8 minutes of brushing through my beard with this thing, and even though it is looking a bit smoother, it's also starting to look a little bit collapsed. So just like with the blow dryer, I'm going to work underneath the beard, pulling out the shape to fill it out a little bit. And then I'm just going to take a wide tooth comb and style it back into place. Well, it definitely has a different feel than a blow-dried style does, but it's not as severe as a flat iron. Here's that before and after. What do you think? All right, there it is. We used two different techniques. Remember, we used the blow dryer with a condenser on it and a brush, which gave it, I think, a more natural kind of looking feel to it. And we used the Stylecraft heat stroke, which is surprising, to be honest. I didn't really expect this tool to perform as well as it did, especially because it's battery powered, and battery powered heated tools usually don't live up to the hype. And I think this one certainly did. I mean, it looks really good. Now, it is a different texture when it's finished. It feels a little more kind of pokey straight in the ends. It definitely has a lot more flyaway look to it. I used a little super dry. It helped tame it down a little bit. But you'll notice that the texture in the ends of the hair feels just a little bit more stick straight, and that's kind of weird. But it does make my beard look longer, which is always kind of a good thing. I would warn you guys, if you have a finer or a thinner beard, that maybe straightening your beard is not always the best option, because if you are worried about your density, straightening out the beard will make it appear a lot less full. It will make it feel even thinner, because curly hair seems to occupy a lot more space than straight hair does. So that's a little word of warning, but in all honesty, this tool seems to be worth the money. It did a really good job. It took about as long as it takes me to use my blow dryer, though. It wasn't necessarily faster or speedier. But for those of you that deal with annoying waves or hair that just kind of flares out in areas or doesn't sit the way you want it to, you might want to take a look at using a heated beard brush. Now, when it comes to beard care, you're going to notice that using heat on your beard on the daily is going to make it feel more dry, and it's going to feel more desaturated. So this is a good time to start using things like a good moisturizing wash. I highly recommend the wash from Victory Barber and Brand. It's meant to replenish moisture that we lose daily, especially through things like styling or using any kind of blow drying or heated tools. But also a good idea is maybe just a little bit of beard oil. Beard oil is meant to help replenish the skin and hair with vital nutrients and moisture. However, when it comes to thermal beard straightening, too much moisture is not that helpful. Remember, hydrogen bonds, not good swimmers. So use your beard oil sparingly and don't overdo it. I will say this, do not use beard oil after you've straightened your beard. The moisture penetrates into the hair, and often you'll find that that wave will revert. As a special deal for all my friends here, I am offering a discount code where you can purchase all of my very favorite beard products from victorybarber.com for 15% off just by using the checkout code YouTube15. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. Help me show these videos to as many bearded brothers as possible. And if you've got questions for me, throw them into the comment section below. And you never know, next time I might be answering your question. So until then, good luck and good grooming.